Hi everybody, it is Seth the Mild Mannered Mage coming at you with another box opening. We're going a little bit into the past, not too far, going back to Dominaria United. I didn't get to open too many boxes of Dominaria United when it came out, so I was able to get my hands on another set booster box, still wrapped up all nice and shiny. So I thought I would give it an open here on camera for you. What are we looking at pulling from this? This was kind of an interesting set as it had some good flashback card, or not flashback, but cards from the past. You know, we saw a Johnny get completed. I believe this had Liliana of the Veil get a reprint. And then also we saw the return of the Praetor Shieldred with a fantastic ability on this with this card. So hoping to pull some of those. I don't think I have yet to pull a Johnny card, so that would be nice, as well as a Liliana of the Veil. I think that would be a fantastic grab for this box. So let's get to cracking and see what we can get out of this. So let's see what we got. All right, if I can get into it. And at the end of this video, we will also do another arena code for you. So stay tuned to the end of the video for that code. So, if I can get into this thing. All right, there we go. Oh, and there's a box topper. I forgot that there's a box topper. So we will save that box topper for last. Okay, so let's see. Get our packs here. And again, this is a set booster box. I like getting the set booster box for the list and the chance to have extra rares. I just feel like it's a better box opening experience. That's just me. So, all right. We've got everything, the box set up off camera for our trash. So let's get into this first pack. Okay, so there's our token. All right, and okay, our art card here. Tori Deviant. I can't remember what that card does. All right, there is our land. So let's go through, get these commons. Our uncommons, and then here's an alt art, some more uncommons, and our first rare card, Chaotic Transformation. Exile up to one target creature, or excuse me, exile up to one target artifact, up to one target creature, up to one target enchantment, up to one target planeswalker, and or up to one target land. For each permanent exiled this way, its control reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a card that shares a card type with it and puts that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle. So that's a good way to kind of get rid of some of your opponent's board. But, you know, it's almost kind of like a, well, it is. It's a chaos warp, but, you know, you're hitting a lot more than just your, the one item. There we go. Okay. Then there is our art card, our land. Get through these commons. Oh, here's what that first art card was. Tori Deviant. Probably saying that all kinds of wrong. And then our rare is a Leaf Crown Visionary. Other elves you control get +1/+1. Whenever you cast an elf, you may pay a green. If you do, draw a card. So elves doing elf things. And then here is our full card. Getting into pack number 3. Well, there we go. land, and then let's get through our commons into our uncommons. Queen Alanau, Ratrabric of Urborg. That looks like a, oh, that's actually a rare. So let's take a look at him. Missed that symbol. Ratrabric of Urborg, legendary zombie wizard, white and black instead of blue and black or just black. Vigilance ward 2, other zombies you control have vigilance. When another legendary creature you control dies, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's non-legendary and it's a 2/2 black zombie in addition to its other types. That would probably go good in Joda, the new Joda legendary commander. So that's kind of a fun card. Wrong pile. And then we've got Miria, Scholar of Antiquity. Tap an untapped non-token artifact you control to add green. Tap 2 untapped non-token artifacts you control to exile the top of your library, and you may play it. So that's kind of fun. All right. And then we've got Vorhair Voldaean Desecrator as our uncommon Phyrexian Merfolk Wizard foil. All right, I got a treasure token. Oh, well, art card is stuck. Oh, we got a signed Squee, the Monarch Squee. Oh, and then there is one of the fun art lands. We like those. All right, commons, uncommons. And then our rare is going to be Phasing of Zhalfir. So that's a saga, another target, first 2 chapters, another target non-land permanent phases out. It can't phase in for as long as you control the phasing of Zhalfir. And then for chapter 3, destroy all creatures. For each creature destroyed this way, its controller creates a 2/2 black Phyrexian creature token. So that's kind of fun. And then we've got Shadow Prophecy as our foil. So none of the cards that we're looking for yet in here. Still would like to get that Sheoldred and a Johnny, maybe the Liliana. There's our token, our art card. Oh, that's kind of pretty. Now that looks like the Weatherlight. I feel like it got zapped recently. All right, so through these uncommons, or commons, and then into our uncommons. Oh, well, there she is. Speak of the devil. We've got Sheoldred the Apocalypse. Death Touch 4/5 for 4. Whenever you draw a card, gain 2 life. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. So some fun, wheel effects, drawing cards. I think this is pretty good for a Nekuzar deck, and I've seen her be pretty gnarly overall as a commander. So lots of good things that you can do with that card. And then we've got a Wing Metal Champion as our foil. All right, so there's one of the cards we were looking for. Maybe we'll pull a Liliana, try to speak that into existence, since, I was just talking about. So we got Stang Twin as our token. Our art card is Karn. Ooh, a fun foil swamp art. Keep that to the side. Get through these uncommons into our common pile. Uncommon, 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 uncommon. Temporal Firestorm. 2 red and 3 with a kicker of 1 and a white, or 1 and a blue. You'll have to forgive my barking dog, Miss Frizzle, hanging out with me today as she barks at a car driving by. Miss Frizzle. Hey, Frizzle. Here. All right. Choose up to X creatures and or planeswalkers where you control, where X is the number of times the spell was kicked. Those permanents phase out. And then Temporal Firestorm deals 5 damage to each creature and or planeswalker. So allows you to kick some of your stuff out before you start dealing damage. So that's pretty nice. And then Fires of Victory as our uncommon foil. So there you got some special commentary from the Frizzle as she runs to go bark at other things. So no token on this one, huh? Weird. And then our art card, our land, and get through these uncommons, or our commons into our uncommons. Oh, Tatiova as an uncommon. Land creatures you control have flying. That's not terrifying. And then our rare is a Yavimaya Coast. Tap it to add a colorless, or you can tap it to add a blue or a green, and it deals 1 damage to you. So that's a good way to fix some mana, because life is a resource. And then here is our foil. All right, let's check out our next cards. Soldier token. Oh, another signed art card. And then a plane. Well, let me not mix these up. Planes. Uncommons. Or commons into uncommons. I'll keep messing that up. And then we've got Radha's Firebrand. Whenever Radha's Firebrand attacks, target creature defending player controls with less power than Radha's Firebrand's power can't block this turn. So she's a 3/1. And then Domain, 5 and a red. That's a lot. She gets +2/+2 until end of turn. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each basic land type among lands you control. And you can only do it once each turn. So, I mean, that's okay, I guess. And then here is a Tura Kinnarood, the Sky Knight, as our foil. All right, so we are not quite halfway through our pile. Okay. Our token, the art card, and our land. Okay, commons, uncommons. There's Radha, a Coalition Warlord. When she becomes tapped, another target creature you control gets +X/+X until end of turn, where it's among a number of basic land types that you control. And then here is our rare card, Phyrexian Human, Vigilance, 2 and 3, 2 white and 3 Vigilance. As an additional cost to cast white permanent spells, you may pay 2 life. Those spells cost, okay, so this basically gives you Phyrexian mana less, and whenever you cast a white permanent spell, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. That's pretty nice, not too bad. And then we've got a Meteorite as our foil. So what's some of the great things that y'all pulled from Dominaria United? Let me know in the comments. What's your favorite card from this set? There's another card. And then our land. Well, I started mixing up my piles. I shouldn't have done that. All right, there we go. Started mixing them up. All right, uncommon, 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 uncommon. So we have Urtai Resurrected. He's got Flash, blue and black and 2, legendary Phyrexian human wizard. When he enters the battlefield, choose up to 1 counter target spell, activated ability, or triggered ability. Its controller draws a card. Destroy another target creature or planeswalker. Its controller draws a card. So that's not too bad, especially if you had a way to return him to your hand and then recast him at a later date. Not a later date, but a later turn. So you can get the most out of it. So with the completion of all these planeswalkers, what do y'all think is going to happen to them once this Phyrexian block is over? Do you think that they will just be dead? Or do you think they're going to try to resurrect them in some way? Reset the clock? Let me know what you think. I'd be interested to hear what everybody thinks they're going to try to do with that. There's a Jaya token. Our art card. A land card. Get through these commons. Uncommon, 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 uncommon. So our first mythic of the box is going to be a Zur Eternal Schemer. White, blue, black for a 1/4 human wizard with flying. Enchantment creatures you control have Death Touch, Lifelink, and Hexproof. And you can pay 1 and a white. Target non-aura enchantment you control becomes a creature in addition to its other types and has base power and base toughness equal to its mana value. That would be kind of interesting to see where you could go with this. I'm not sure what sort of other enchantment creatures are in these colors, but you know, that could be kind of interesting. And then we have Slimefoot's Survey as our foil card. Alright, there we go. Okay, our token. Our art card. And our land card. Common, common. Common, common. Alright, uncommon. Uncommon, uncommon, uncommon. All right, so we've got a Carpulsin Forest. It's kind of like that Yavimaya Coast, except for Gruul colors. Tap it to add a colorless, or tap it to add red or green, and it deals 1 damage to you. Oh, and then here is this is a two rare pack. Stronghold Arena, 1 and black with a kicker of green and or white. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life for each time it was kicked. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you may reveal the top of your library and put it into your hand. If you do, lose life equal to its mana value. It's a good way to filter because, again, life is a resource. Okay. So I only got, looks like 2 packs left in this pile, which is the halfway point. So we are getting there. Oh, and actually, you know what? That I said that Zur was the first mythic. That Sheoldred was the first mythic. So we'll go back and do a review of everything that we've pulled, just so that we can see what's what. All right, so there are my commons: uncommon, 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 and then so we've got Defiler of Dreams, 2 blue and 3 flying. As an additional cost to cast blue permanent spells, you may pay 2 life, so turning things into Phyrexian blue mana. Whenever you cast a blue permanent spell, draw a card. So that's not too bad. And then Vanquisher's Axe as our foil. All right, so approaching the halfway point of this video. again, another kind of blank there. It's our art card. Card of land. Go through these commons. Uncommon, 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 uncommon. Ooh, what is this? The Mana Rig. I don't think I've seen this. It is another mythic. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, create a tapped Power Stone token. That's kind of nice. XXX tap. Look at the top X cards of your library. Put up to 2 of them into your hand and the rest in the bottom of your library in random order. That's a nice way to get through some card draw, trying to see what's on top of your library, and also with the ability to get extra mana off of casting spells. So that, I really like that. I'll have to figure out a good deck to put that in. And then we've got another rare, Llanowar Loam Speaker, tapping to add 1 mana of any color. Tap, target land you control becomes a 3/3 elemental creature token with haste, or creature with haste. That's pretty cool. And then here is our foil for the pack. So we got some good stuff so far, reaching this this halfway point. We are now there. Okay. And then there's our token. Trash box is getting trashy. Here is our art card. And then we've got a foil land. All right. Common, 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 common. Uncommon, uncommon, uncommons. And then we've got as our rare, Ivy Gleeful Spell Thief. Whenever a player casts a spell that targets a single creature other than Ivy Gleeful Spell Thief, you may copy that spell. The copy targets Ivy. Interesting. So that could be a good way to buffer, or that could be a good way to remove her. I'm not exactly sure how you would use her, but I would have to kind of look into that, but that's kind of interesting. And then we've got a Pixie Illusionist as our foil for this. So that is the halfway point for this video. Here's the other stack, and I tell you what we'll do. I actually have a stack of arena codes here, so we'll go ahead and we'll do 2 arena codes in this video. So here is your first arena code. We'll leave this up here just for a minute, just for everybody to kind of screenshot that or do whatever they need to do. And then we'll set it off camera and go through the rest of our stack. We'll also do another one at the end, as I promised, but yeah, we'll just throw a bonus one in there, see what happens. That's a scary looking bird token. Not gonna lie, that frightens me. Well, these art cards like to stick to these land cards. I think it's the art card. Do like that forest, that's kind of neat looking. There's our commons, uncommon, common, uncommon, getting there. And then our rare for this is going to be a Leyline Binding. White and 5, that's expensive to flash it in. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each basic land type among lands you control. All right, when Leyline Binding enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. So gives you a way to kind of get rid of something that belongs to an opponent. You know, maybe get rid of some big beater that is on the battlefield giving you some problems. So that is a nice little removal effect. And then we've got our Tear Asunder as our uncommon foil. Hadn't seen many rare or mythic foils. Usually I hit at least one. No token in this pack. Sad face. And then there is our art card, our land card. Get through these commons. Here are our uncommons. A lot of uncommons. All right, then there we go with a rare. Rabaran Mercenaries, white and 3 for a Vigi 3/4. It has all activated abilities of all legendary creatures you control. Huh. Well, that could go good in a Legends deck. That's kind of fun. I like that. And then we've also got Defiler of Instinct. So we've got 3 of the Defilers in this box so far. So 2 red and 2 for a first strike 4/4 Phyrexian Kavu. First strike as an addition, so this gives you Phyrexian red mana. Whenever you cast a red permanent spell, it deals 1 damage to any one target. So there you go. And then we've got a foil Heroic Charge. And then here's a first list card, Empress Galena. Pay 2 to tap it to gain control of target legend or legendary permanent. Well, let's steal some stuff. That's a good way to do that. And it doesn't end at end of turn, so that is yours to keep. So that is not scary at all. All right. I've got a buddy that runs kind of a thief deck. It plays like a hug deck, but it is a what does he call it? Group steal, I think. So I'll have to show him that card. I don't know if he's got it or not, because I do believe that deck runs blue. Get through these commons, some uncommons. Plaza of Heroes. Tap it to add a colorless. Tap it to add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only on a legendary spell. Tap it to add 1 mana of any color among legendary permanents you control. Pay 3 to exile it. Target legendary creature gains hexproof and indestructible. That's pretty nice. I like that. That's a good way to help protect some of your stuff. And then we've got a Hurler Cyclops as our foil, and another list card, Wooden Stake. Equip. This looks like it's from Innistrad. Equipped creature gets +1/+0. Whenever equipped creature blocks or becomes blocked by a vampire, destroy that creature. It can't be regenerated. Huh. Okay, interesting. Innistrad was on flavor with all the vampire and zombie cards, I tell ya. There's our art card, our land card. Okay, let's get through our commons into our uncommons. And we've got a Cruelty of Gix. Another saga. Target opponent reveals their hand. Choose a creature or planeswalker, and they discard it. Search your library for a card. Put that card into your hand, then you lose 3. And Chapter 3, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. I like that. For 5 mana, that's not too bad. That's about on curve to kind of get things going. So, nice little saga there. And then we've got a foil Haunted Mirror. Searchable because it is a Swamp Forest. There you go. And then a list card of, I can't tell what this is from, 1,000 Winds, a Morphing Elemental. And when it's turned face up, return all other tapped creatures to their owner's hands. There you go. All right. All right. Getting worried I wasn't getting tokens. There's our token. And then our art card. And then we've got a Fun Forest. Get through these commons. Common. All right, whoops. Uncommon. All right, and then here is our Tyrannical Pit Lord, 2 black and 6 for a demon with flying and trample. When it enters the battlefield, choose another creature you control. that creature gets +3/+3 and has flying. When it leaves the battlefield, you have to sack that creature, and it's on a 6/6 body. That's pretty nice for a demon. You know, boost something up, but then when it dies, you have to sack the boosted creature. So that seems about on flavor for a demon, making deals and then reneging on those deals. So there we go. And then we also have a Rith. So that's going to be another mythic. Liberated Primeval. Flying, Ward 2. Other dragons you control have Ward 2. Well, that's not terrifying at all. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature or planeswalker an opponent controls was dealt excess damage this turn, create a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying. So if you trample over them, then that's excess damage and you get another dragon. So that's pretty nice. I have to figure out a way to build around that. And then a Furious Bellow as our foil. So we've got some pretty good stuff out of this box so far. Still would like to see that Liliana, though. Haven't seen any Planeswalkers out of this box. There's a Stang Twin. Oh, there we go. Our art card. And then our Fancy Swamp. Get through these commons, uncommons. And then here is that same zombie wizard that we saw before, but I think we had it in the funky art, didn't we? Let's go back and look real quick. I feel like it was different art. Yes, it was. So here is the two arts on that card. Ritribic of Urborg. Not seeing too many doubles this box, so that's nice. And then there is our Shore Up, which is our foil common. All right, our next pack. Our token. Oh, there's Liliana. Maybe this means this pack will have her. Not that I go into anything like that. All right, there's our commons. Uncommons. Oh, well, that's kind of interesting. This is actually from the Commander set. The Hada Binder of Wills. So Mardu in 1. Let's see what we got. Up to 1 target legendary creature gains Vigilance, Lifelink, and Indestructible until end of next turn. -3, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put any number of legend cards from among them into your hand. And -11, gain control of all non-land permanents until end of turn. Well, that's not terrifying at all. So that's kind of interesting. I saw the border and was hoping it was going to be an Ajani, but that's from the Commander decks. Oh, well, there's Karn hanging out. Let's see what this Karn does. Living Legacy. +1, create a tapped Power Stone, so get you some mana ramp. -1, pay any amount of mana. Look at that many cards from the top of your library, then put one of those cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. And -7, you get an emblem with tap and untapped artifact you control. This emblem deals 1 damage to any target. So that's kind of fun. I forgot Karn was in this set. And he's in the fun art too. Well, there you go. Oh, and then another. Academy Loremaster. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player may draw an additional card. If they do, spells they cast this turn cost 2 more to cast. So a way to kind of, here's some cards, but you're going to slow down. So that's kind of nice. And then Founding the Third Path as our foil uncommon. All right. There's Urtai. Go through our commons into our uncommons, uncommon, and then here is our Shivan Devastator. Red and X for flying, haste, dragon, Hydra. Wow, that's kind of powerful. Here's the battlefield with X/1/1 counters on it. So that, yeah, that almost kind of reminds me of Mistcutter Hydra, where it's got the haste and protection from blue. Dropping that protection, but giving it the flying, so that's not scary at all. And then we've got Linebreaker Byleth, and then Teferi's Veil. Whenever a creature you control attacks, it phases out at the end of combat as our list card. So not too many list cards this set, this box either. Looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 packs to go. Let's see what else, what other goodness we can get. I'm wondering if we're running low on the mythic train here. All right, and there's our art card. And our forest. Common. Then we go through our uncommons. Oh, well, there's the same card back to back with different art. That's kind of funny. And then we've got Curian Beastcaller as a Dryad Warrior. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a 1/1 counter on Curian Beastcaller. When it dies, distribute X/1/1 counters among any number of target creatures you control, where X is the number of 1/1 counters on him. So that's, cast a creature, make him buff, kill him, and then move those counters elsewhere. So I like that. That's pretty cool. All right, and another one. And don't forget, we also have the fun box topper. So we'll see what we got there. Well, there we go. Oh, we've got a signed Urtai. A foil Montagna. All right, get through these comments into our uncommons. And then we've got a Joda the Unifier. So this is kind of fun. He costs Wooburg. Legendary creatures you control get +X/+X, where X is the number of legendary creatures you control. Creatures, not permanents. Whenever you cast a legendary spell from your hand, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-legendary card with lesser mana cost. So legendary Cascade. Cast that card without paying its mana cost, and the rest go on the bottom. So that's kind of fun. I've seen a lot of killer decks with Joda at the helm. Most of them legendary tribal. I did see one person ran legendary backgrounds. So background tribal and he was saying that it was the jobs that Joda had. So that was from, I think it was MtG Mudsta, watching a game of Elder Dragon Hijinks. So lots of fun things that you can do with Joda. Then we've got our foil card, and then a Death Coil Worm, a 7/6 for 8. If it attacks and is blocked, you may choose to have it deal damage to the defending player instead of to the creature blocking it. So it kind of goes around blocking damage. So that's kind of interesting. I've not seen that before, but that's an expensive CMC for a 7/6. I can think of some other things that I would want to cast for an 8-drop, you know? Oh, let me get this on. These packs, I swear. Well, there's our Ajani emblem. Maybe we'll see an Ajani in here. Still would like to see a Liliana. That would be nice. Uncommons. Our commons. And then the Elder Dragon War. What is this? Another saga. When it comes in, deals 2 damage to each creature and each opponent. Discard any number of cards for Chapter 2, then draw that many cards. And Chapter 3, you get a red dragon creature token with flying. That's okay. The Chapter 2, I think, is... Oh, and you can read ahead. Choose a chapter and start with that many lore counters. Add 1 after your draw step. Skip chapters, don't trigger, sacrifice after 3. So, I mean, that's kind of, I think, makes this a little bit better, but, you know, I'm not too thrilled with it. I think the art on it's pretty nice, too, though. I like the art. The card seems okay. All right, only 4 packs remain. I don't know if we want to see Lily or Johnny. I am pretty happy, though. I did manage to find a Liliana vest. Funko Pop in pretty good working order. Didn't look too damaged or anything. So I'm working on filling out my Funko Pop Magic collection. All right. So here are our commons. Into our uncommons. Oh. Well, let's see. Yep, there we go. 2 uncommons, different arts, same pack. Well, there she is. She was just hiding. Liliana the Veil. Love this art on her. Looks fantastic. Each player discards a card. Target player sacks a creature. -6. Separate all permanents target player controls into 2 piles. That player sacks the permanents in the pile of their choice. So, one of the OG Planeswalkers. In the fun art, too. And then we also got a Braids out of this pack, too. That's nice. At the beginning of your end step, you may sack an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or Planeswalker. If you do, each opponent may sack a permanent that shares a card type with it. For each opponent that doesn't, so they can choose not to, they lose 2 life, and you draw a card. So you're taxing them. And then if they choose not to do it, then you get, they lose 2 life and you get a card. All right. So really the only thing that we're missing is an Ajani. We've hit a lot of Planeswalkers out of this box. So this has been a pretty good box. Our art card. Our land card. And then let's see some commons. And then some uncommons. And then our rare of this pack, Rivers of the Claw, Vyashno Warlock, Menache for Rakdos and 1. Tap it to add 2 mana in any combination of colors. Spend it to cast dragon creature spells. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a dragon spell from your graveyard. That's pretty nice. I like that. Whenever you cast a dragon creature spell from your graveyard, it gains when this creature dies, exile it. So, of course, there is a little bit of a, cost to casting from your graveyard. I do wish this was a dragon warlock instead of a Vyashno warlock. Just to kind of give it more flavor, I guess. But I still like the card. That would go well in many, many decks. Oh, and then we've got a foil alt art Soul of Windgrace. Lord Windgrace from the Commander decks from several years ago. I can't remember what year that was. Was it 2015, 2016? Somebody correct me. So whenever Soul of Windgrace enters the battlefield or attacks, you may put a land card from your graveyard onto the battlefield, tapped and under your control. Pay a green to discard a land. You gain 3 life. pay a red and 1, discard a land to draw a card, and a black and 2, discard a land. Soul of Windgrace gains indestructible until end of turn, and tap it. So you could probably do lots of fun things in this Jund card. That's nice with the foiling on that. And then we got a Joraga Tree Speaker as our list card. It's a leveling card, level 1 through 4. Tap it to add 2 green mana. And then level 5 and up, elves you control have tap it, add 2 green mana to your mana pool. So again, Elves Matters decks, great way to beef it up. And we have 2 packs remaining. What other kind of goodness are we going to get? And don't forget, we still have that box topper too. I can't remember what the box topper things were. So we will find out together. Uncommons. So Valiant Veteran, other soldiers you control get +1/+1. Exile Valiant Veteran from your graveyard to put a 1/1 counter on each soldier you control. So soldiers matter. That's a good way to buff them. And then our green Barkweave Crusher as our common rare. All right, and our last pack. Let's see what we got. We're gonna get something good. Sapperling. Jaya. Plains. All right, last pack. And we've got, make sure I didn't miss anything. Herd Migration, a green and 6 domain. Create a 3/3 green beast. Creature token for each basic land type among lands you control, so up to 5. Pay a green and 1, discard it, search your library for a basic land card and reveal it, and then put it into your hand and shuffle, and you gain 3. So a way to get up to 5 beast tokens, or to pay a lot less and go get a basic land. So I think that's a good, it's a good card. You're going to get benefits either way. Go get a land you need, or you get a bunch of beast tokens. And then we've got Viashino Branch Rider as our common foil. All right, let's take a look at this box topper, and let's see what it is. Ooh, that was not pleasant. I did not like that noise. All right, so here is our box topper here. And let's see, the only thing about these box toppers is you don't want to bend the card, and there's only the one card, and trying to get into it, and they don't give you a good tear spot. Well, I need a knife. Or a pair of scissors. Something. Do I have a pair of scissors in here or anything sharp? Of course not. Okay, let me... Okay, there we go. I got a little something going there. Jesus. All right, and then this is Jasmine Boreal of the Seven. Let's see. So Selesnya 1, tapper to add Selesnya. Spend this mana Only to cast creature spells with no abilities, so just... and then creatures you control with no abilities can't be blocked by creatures with abilities. So that's interesting. Be an interesting tribal deck to build around, as she is a human druid. She is, it looks like, uncommon, so you could use that in Pauper. So that could be fun. I might build a Pauper commander. My Got Game Hobbies, the LGS that I frequent, just is trying to start a Pauper league. So this might be a good Pauper commander. So I'll have to see what I can do for that. All right, so that is the box. So let's take a look again at all the goodness we got. Lots of good things in here. Very excited about this Soul of Windgrace. We've got a Braids, Liliana of the Veil, Joda, Shivan Devastator, a Karn. I'm curious how many mythics I got out of this, because it seems like I got a ton of them. Lots of good things. That mana rig, I'm interested to try to figure out what we can do with that. So all the good stuff. And just to satisfy my curiosity, well, making a mess. That's what I do. Going through and trying to find the mythic symbols real quick. All right. So yeah, so we got a lot of mythics out of this box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mythic box. So that is pretty fantastic, I feel like. And we got a lot of the cards we were looking for. Kind of sad that we didn't pull in a Johnny, but you know, them's the breaks when it comes to box openings instead of buying singles. And then as promised, end of the video, here is yet another arena code for my fantastic viewers. Again, don't forget, there was another one at the midpoint of this video, because we did that just because we had enough codes. So there you go. So what was your favorite pull from Dominaria United? What was some of the things that that you got that you were really excited about? What's some of your favorite builds? Leave me a like, a comment, hit that subscribe button. Be sure to hit the bell so you know when new content is posted. Let me know. Leave me a comment. What do you think of these videos? What would you like to see? Yeah, I want to try to make this as best as I can for you, so we can have some great Magic content out there. In the meantime, this is your Mild Mannered Mage, thanking you once again for watching this video, and we will see you next time. Y'all have a great evening and good night.